I'd like to bring this session to order. On April 23rd, 2019, at 4:35. This evening, we are conducting interviews for the Board of Education vacancy. We have 4 applicants. Applicants will be in a waiting area. Monica will go get each one when it's time. So we can start, and Mr. Dreiling, will you stay here while Ms. Avina takes everybody else? Yes. Trying to find mine. I'm trying to find my paper. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, Mr. Rolla, will you start with the questions?
Do we want to introduce himself first?
Mr. Dreiling, will you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Joe Dreiling, graduate of Adams 14 schools. I still reside here in the city. I'm married and have a daughter.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Dreiling, why do you want the position of board member in this district?
Like I just said, I attended Adams 14 schools. I went to Alsop and then went to Adams City Junior High School, and then was at the old Adams City High School and graduated in 1983. I know quite a few of the alumni that have worked in the schools, also work here in the district as professionals and business owners. I think that we should ensure a safe environment for this district. You know, my current position with the Sheriff's Office, I can help with security procedures with this district. My experience in that area is 20 years, and I feel we can upgrade in a lot of different areas when it comes to the security of our staff and students. I want to increase communication with staff, students, and parents. I want to have successful leadership from the Board of Education. I want to see if we can obtain more budgets and grants. Look at employee benefits and compensations and be more involved in the community. When I was previously on the board, the relationship with the city was a little strained. I served as planning commissioner for almost 20 years, and I'm hoping that relationship with a lot of council will benefit the school district. I want to continue in helping make this school district one of the best districts as it used to be when I went to school here. And it's been difficult to see Adams 14 being bashed. So that's why I want this position.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Reagan?
Thank you, Mr. Dreiling, for your interest in serving on the board. How do you think you could help the board become more effective?
My experience, I spent almost a year previously serving on the board, something that the other 3 candidates do not have. I don't know if I should say this now, but I'm pro Adams 14. I'm not for charter schools. We have a great district. I think we have great kids. We have great staff. And yeah, there's a couple of times and a couple of people who don't fit our mold, but this is a great school district. So one of my goals is to be recognized as one of the top schools in the school district. And I think we're pretty close.
Thank you.
Mr. Thomas?
Mr. Dryling, my question is, what are your goals and aspirations from a personal point of view?
Like I previously stated, I'm a graduate of this district. There's a lot of pride with this district. I want to help this district to perform to the best it can. And it doesn't take one, it takes many to achieve this goal.
Okay. Mr. Dryling, what would you intend that your major contributions would be as a board member in this school district?
The major what?
What would you intend your major contributions?
Okay. I'd like to help with the continued strategic planning for the district and for the future of the district, including the Board of Education, to have a success plan. Teacher retention is still a significant issue for Adams 14. Staff retention in general is a problem. It's difficult to find employees who want to stay. Sometimes I think, from what I read, Adams 14 is like a stepping stone for teachers and staff, and this is a great district. I don't feel it's salary or benefits. I think it's more of a support and communication issue between us and the superintendent, or the superintendent and the principals, but it's communication. And I think leadership starts with the Board of Education and continues down through the superintendent.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rolla?
Describe the board's role as it's related to the superintendent's role in the district.
The superintendent is the only employee of the board. And the Board of Education sets down the policies and the goals and priorities of the district. The superintendent is there to see these goals and priorities be put into motion and to accomplish them. And the superintendent is a person who is not only a leader, but must be honest in all the dealings that he or she comes in contact with. They should not be a micromanager, and the district already has managers who facilitate the superintendent's instructions.
I'm going to put mine up there. We're kind of switching, Mr. Senator Moreno and I are switching questions, and he's going to take his last. How much should the board seek out the views of teachers and other school employees?
I believe that we as a board should listen to our staff, to our employees, understanding that all point of views, someone's going to be upset if their point of view is not taken. But I believe as a board, we owe it to the community and to the district to listen and to be objective in all the dealings. And, you know, when we sit down and talk with people, it has to be genuine.
Mr. Thomas?
What legacy would you like to leave as a result of your time on the board?
I'd like to leave, I know we're getting new schools built. I'd like to see all new schools built. We've already overgrown the high school. I'd like to see us be more in community and business involvement. Although we're the school district, we can't do anything without the city behind us. And we need to strengthen that relationship. They may not agree what the school district is doing, but in the end, we need to have partnership with businesses in the community and with the city government.
Okay, Ms. Senator.
Mr. Dreiling, is there anything that you'd like to add that would help us to understand you better?
Yes. I served on the district for approximately a year with 3 out of the 4 of you. I was impartial and made decisions based on logic. I didn't sacrifice integrity to please others. I felt I served the district with honor. I'm the only candidate, like I said previously, who served this district as board member. I understand the complex challenges this district faces. We need to explore ways that all of us can be successful and understand that it's a partnership with all the groups involved, not just the Board of Education and the superintendent.
And that is the end of the questions, Mr. Dreiling. So, Monique, Ms. Avina will.
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to switch those, his and mine around. Okay. That's order. Oh, no, I know.
I said yes. I think it's like-
Well, just one, yeah. I think we need air conditioning on. No? Don't you sweat.
I think it's a little cold in here.
I'm everywhere. Monica, is the air on? We have your name. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hola, buenas tardes. Good evening, or good afternoon, right? My name is Luz Elena Molina. Everybody calls me Lucy. And I live here in Commerce City, 6650 Claremont.
So, Mr. Roller, thank you.
Okay, Lucy, why do you want the position of board member in this district?
I'm a single parent, and I have 2 kids in the district. Really, to use the leadership that I have attained the last 10 years, I guess, and 15 years, also being involved all these years within the district and seeing all the changes, all the different programming and personnel, and especially the situation that we're in right now, was really, I guess I got very worried about my kids' future. So when I do want to help, I love my community. I would like to be a good example. I would like to help this district become a good example for the state, for the rest of our community, and help, because there's a lot of work.
Thank you. Mr. Moreno?
Ms. Molina, how could you help the board become more effective?
Well, I'm not perfect, and nobody is. I will humbly say that, and I thank every single one of you and everybody that's been before, and anyone that's in a position like yourselves, for the challenge that you guys have taken up. I've realized it's not easy being involved right now in this political realm and helping in different. I used to run a music school, so I understand. I've got to learn a lot. I feel I'm very involved in my community. I feel communication. I feel what I would be able to bring and be more effective is communication. I'm always about love and unity. If people remember me, I'm all about, I'm about God. God is love, and positive things. Like I brought cleanups to the city, not only to the district, but to the city. We brought anti-bullying campaigns. Anything positive that I see that might help my children and our children, I try to pull it to our district. I feel like not only our district, but our Commerce City, we're always left behind. We're always the last ones. And I don't think that's fair. I feel that we should all have a quality life. We should all have a quality education. I don't want to be left behind. I don't want my kids to be left behind. And if my kids are being left behind, that means everybody is being left behind. So I would like to, I feel like it bring more communication between our community and the board and the district, and find a bridge that maybe we can find unity. Nothing is perfect, I know, even in any business. But I feel I'm a good listener. I'm also, I care. I really care about my community. I really care about our children's future, really, because that's my kids too.
Mr. Thomas?
Thank you, Lucy. My question is, what are your goals and aspirations from a personal point of view?
From a personal point of view, definitely be for the district or for myself, just for myself, personal. So I come from the business sector. I'm an entrepreneur. So if people know me from Dos Tequilas, from Joyería Londra, from a lot of the local Mexican, Latino grassroots businesses that have been here for 20 years. There's La Chispa, Joyería 0720. So I see myself as a successful entrepreneur in the future because that's where I come from. My family, most of my families are all business owners. I'm also all about education. Of course, if I didn't have the proper education that I sought for, that my parents helped me obtain, I wouldn't have any goals. I've been able to travel the world. I studied in another state. I went to Honolulu, Hawaii. I've graduated with scholarships. So my personal goals, I want to be a positive example to my community. I'm going to go back to, I want to share the love and empathy and the things that we're now. I feel Commerce City has this old, very old-fashioned feel still. We still embody this essence of the 1950s. I mean, we're not that old school, but we still have this respect. We still have this, I don't know, in my block, the kids are still playing basketball. They still respect their neighbors. We still know each other. My neighbor tells me, hey, Omar, it's 11 o'clock and Omar is across the street. You need to get him home. So we still have this, I don't know, how do you call that, this real old school feel that we still respect one another. Love and empathy. Right now we're in this age of technology, like I say. We're in another realm, I guess, for the children, the video games, TV, and all these things. So we need to sometimes step back and look at ourselves as humans. Like, who are we? Like, really, we are human beings. We're not robots. You know, we still feel, we still love, we still care. So we need to show these kids, because, like, I mean, it's very sad to go to the schools and a kid almost trips over me. And I'm like, not even to say sorry or excuse me. And if I would have done that to any of my elders when I was growing up, that was not good, you know? So I think I want to be a positive example for this community and for this district, and especially for my kids. I'm a single mother. They've never met their father, really. I mean, he got deported when they were really little. So our situation is, I would say that 50% of the people in my community, in this community that I believe is my community that I meet and talk to every day, have a similar situation like mine. So we struggle. They're single parents. Parents are working 3 jobs. Parents that, like me, are trying to run a business. I'm trying to help my kids. So, yes, I would like to be a positive example and influence in the future of our kids and our city.
Thank you. What would you intend that your major contributions would be as a board member in this school district?
I would like to do many things. First of all, I want to I understand where we're at right now. I want to the reality, it is what it is. The reality is what we're facing right now. I would like to, one of my contributions would like to be to help get us out of the situation that we're in right now and save our district. That is something again, I'm not perfect. I know nobody is, and I humbly can say that I don't know everything. But I'm willing to learn, and I've learned so much already this last whole year and the last few years that I've been involved. I know so another is considering our demographics. Coming from Joyeria Londra, I am a victim of a grave crime, which is, many people know that about me, why I got involved. The kid that murdered my boss at Joyeria Londra in 2012, he grew up in this district, in this city. He was only 22 years old. The kid lost his entire future in his life for $1,500 that he stole from us of jewelry. My boss we would have given them that money, and that has always tripped me out, wondered forever, what was going through that child's mind? What happened in that child's household? Why did he choose that route? What did we do wrong? Because yes, it does take a village. Sometimes it was not only my mom and dad that helped me, encouraged me to graduate. It was also my teachers. It was also my neighbors, the people at church. It was a good friend that I had, that I met, from the Girl Scouts. So I feel helping the turnaround process, and also I would like to see the increase in graduation. Again, I've seen the stats. I've gone to CDE. I've read the situations, even through the EMO process that we went through. I was really, enlightened, I guess, and found out why we're where we're at and what can we do to make that better. I see that the graduation situation is a big issue. I have to always see it as a parent. Where am I at? My child is in the 8th grade. He'll be going to high school. I have 2 different children. A child that loves school, he's a 4.0 kid. I have a completely other child that hates school, that I struggle every day. And it's I don't want to feel like I'm a bad parent just because whatever we're doing at school doesn't work for my daughter, but it does work for my son. And how is that gonna help? So ultimately, really become a good, positive influence in the Latino community, because of our demographics, right? We need more Latino leaders. We need to show a good example for them. I want my kid to aspire to be there where you're at, to aspire to be where Senator Moreno's at. I want my child to say, I want to be in a position like this. Instead of I'm just, whatever happens, it's okay. I'm cool with that. So we need to show them the vision. Where can they be at? You see that? This is where you can be. That's what you could do. You want to go to the moon? You want to be an astronaut? You can go to the moon and be an astronaut. that's what I would like to contribute in helping the immediate situation that we're in, and definitely the future, which is the graduation and making leaders in their community. It doesn't matter who we are, really. We need to, the kids are our future. It's not a rocket science, you know? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rolla?
Describe the board's role as it's related to the superintendent's role in the district.
The board's role, okay, so then I understand that the board is responsible to hiring the superintendent, right? So then, and the superintendent's role is to do his job managing the district. And, well, according to the state, you know, we need to meet these guidelines or these tests and all these situations. I understand that the superintendent is also responsible of letting you guys, letting the board know what direction we should go, or what direction you should go, what is, where we're at, the data, the stats, all this stuff. So I do understand that, well, responsible to hire and retire the superintendent. The ideas, give advice, leadership direction, and yeah, I see it like, you know, a business. I'm running a nonprofit as well. Before, we had to hire our executive director. So we were the board, and we told him where we wanted to go. We wanted to get an office in Aurora. That was his job, to find us an office in Aurora. We needed to take the kids, the mariachi kids, to New Mexico. They needed to find where to fundraise and find the grants to get the kids to New Mexico for the mariachi event. So that is what I see the role of the superintendent. There should probably be more, and I could definitely learn.
Thank you. How much should the board seek out the views of teachers and other school employees?
Communication is really important. I've been an employee. I've been the boss. I've hired people. I've been an owner. I've been a partner. I've been an investor. I've been in many situations. I feel it is very important. I think we should learn from past mistakes. I understand, you know, a lot of the past is written to teach us, you know. We need to, there has to be, again, a middle ground, right? I feel not only the teachers, the parents, I mean, really, like, the parents, like, we are, like, one of the biggest roles in the community, because we are the parents of the child that these teachers are teaching, and this district is teaching. It is very important. I feel that there should be a good communication. Again, I'm going to say we're never going to make everybody happy, and I see that. But we got to do the right thing. And we got to do the right thing, and both parties, every party needs to find what's best for the children. I always say, like, Solomon's wisdom, we got to use wisdom sometimes. We need to use wisdom and see what is the best, right? So I feel it is important to have the proper communication, not only with the teachers, but with everybody. Yeah.
Mr. Thomas?
What legacy would you like to leave as a result of your time on the school board?
Again, well, love and leadership. You know, that I'm not the Messiah here. I'm nobody's savior. You know, I really do everything out of my heart. I try to find what's the right thing. How is it going to affect me as a parent, as a, you know, a single parent here in this low-income community that I live in? How is it going to change my child's future? I just want to be a voice. I really want to be a voice, a real voice, you know, for the people that we're really living the day-to-day life. What was really, like, the reality, what me and my neighbors are really going through. You know, I really think of, as far as a legacy, you know, I try to be very humble. I want to be humble. I want to, that nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, and that we all do our best. We all try, with the best of our knowledge and the best that we're learning, So, that was the hardest question you guys gave me. So it is love and humility, leadership. For now, I'll be thinking about that one the rest of the night.
Okay, Mr. Moreno?
Ms. Molina, is there anything that you'd like to add that would help us to understand you better?
Well, we're going to be here the rest of the night then. Well, no, I would just like to say thank you. Thank you all for your courage and all everything that everybody's, the work that you guys been putting in. I learned so much. Not to judge people. We don't know where people are coming from, really, when they make decisions. I really want to thank you for your service. It's not easy. I know it's not. For 3 years, I tried to help as a board member in a nonprofit organization that some people know me from, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't really easy. I've gone through my share of challenges, and I just like to say that I'm a single parent of this district with 2 kids, one at Kearney and one at Adams City Middle School. I'm not the perfect parent. Taken advantage of all the resources you guys have given me. I'm CPR certified now. I try to, become. I took classes for teen parenting here. I think I can. I even got books from some of the authors. I'm really thankful for all of the work that you guys do, and that I really truly love this community. And if there's anything I can give back, really, I would like to. I've been invited many times to get involved in many ways. I feel that through this process that we went through, the last the EMO process was very empowering for me. It was really scary at first because there was so many division. There is division. I saw that we were able to kind of meet somewhere in between, and then there's in, out, things like, and but it was really inspiring to see that that everybody really cares, that we have a really beautiful community that still, I say that we're like a sleeping giant. I'm like, we're a sleeping giant. I feel we have a very beautiful community, and the more we are aware and educated of how beautiful and what a potential that we have, we're gonna set an awesome example for the rest of the future. And we're gonna create beautiful leaders here. And aquí tenemos uno right here. And this is just the beginning. And hopefully there's a lot, hundreds, thousands of more people that would like to take the challenge and become successful and say, I'm from Commerce City. That's it. And thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Would you tell us your name and a little bit about you?
I apologize. Good afternoon. My name is Laura Martinez, and I am an alumni from Adams City High School of 2003. I'm also an active member of Colorado IAF, DAC, and CUBS, as well as a member. I have 3 children at Hanson Elementary, ages 7, 5, and 3, and that is the main reason why I'm here.
Thank you. Mr. Rolla?
Welcome, Ms. Martinez. Why do you want the position of a board member in this district?
One of the reasons why I want the position of the board member is first to give back to the district that gave me so much. It would be an honor to serve and to give back to the community where I grew up, where I finished high school, where I went to middle school and elementary, and where my kids are going to school now. I also want to serve the community in a more deeper and impactful way. And also to work with you, to maximize the resources that we do have, and to make this a district that it can be. And the most important one, to advocate for my children's education.
Senator Moreno?
Ms. Martinez, how could you help the board become more effective?
I believe that my community involvement and being involved with the community as well as church would help in assisting in bridging the gap of communication between the district and the community, as well as finding solutions to the district's to the problems at hand. I also believe that I can assist by having a different point of view from a parent's perspective, which is very important, and to bring new ideas on how to best utilize the resources that we already have.
Mr. Thomas?
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Question is, what are your goals and aspirations from a personal point of view?
My goal has always been, regardless of my professional career path, has always been to inspire, to remind students, to remind people, to remind adults that you can do anything that you want to, that where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to do something, you can do it. And my lifelong goal is to be able to inspire people to do that. If I can inspire at least one person and encourage them to follow their dreams, that no matter what happens, what circumstances they face, that they can accomplish their goals if they stay on task, then I will consider myself successful.
Ms. Martinez, what would you intend that your major contributions to the board, as a board member, you could bring to this district?
What I would hope that one of my major contributions as a board member in this school district would be mostly to inspire students to succeed, to remind them that it doesn't matter where they came from, that what matters is where they go, what they make out of their circumstances, and what they give back to the community. I also want to contribute, leave another major contribution of bringing this district and the community together so that we can work as one and make it a very powerful, encouraging, and as an example, make it a district that can exemplify what success looks like.
Mr. Rolla?
Describe the board's role as it is related to the superintendent's role in the district.
The board's role is primarily to adopt policies that will affect the district, and the superintendent is responsible for implementing the policies. The board is responsible for holding the superintendent accountable for those for implementing those policies, and the superintendent is the only employee that the board oversees.
Okay. How much should the board seek out the views of teachers and other school employees?
I strongly believe that the board should seek the views of teachers and other school employees on subjects that impact them and their students directly. Anything that can better improve the quality of education or the way that things function, they have a different perspective because they're hands down, they're hands-on. So sometimes they see things that we don't see. And so those are things that we need to take into account so that we can better improve the way the district functions.
Thank you. Mr. Thomas?
What legacy would you like to leave as a result of your time on the board?
I believe my children are my legacy. If my children are successful in this district, then that is success. That is my legacy. And not only my children, the other 7,500 students as well. If they can be successful, if they can see and envision college in their near future, then I believe that is my legacy.
Senator Moreno?
Ms. Martinez, is there anything that you'd like to add that would help us understand you better?
I am passionate about education. I always have. I believe that knowledge is power, and that what you do with that knowledge, you can is a double-edged sword. And so we can use that knowledge, that education that we have to better benefit other people, and we spread what we know, our knowledge, our passion, and we can make this a better world, a better place to live in. I also believe that by being involved in the community and talking to them has allowed me to understand exactly what it is that we need as a community, what we need as a district, what we need as pretty much as a family, because that's what we are. And even though we don't see eye to eye, we can still work things out. I strongly believe in this district. I have hopes for this district, and giving up is not in the near future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time and for allowing me to come up in front of you.
Thank you. Would you give us your name and tell us a little bit about you?
My name is Austin Rawlson. I am 22 years old. Live here in Commerce City, around 72nd and Quebec-ish area. And I don't have a lot of experience in education or anything. I have a little bit of experience in policy and a little bit of experience in just working in communities. And that's what I think that we need more of, is community involvement. So,
Mr. Rowland?
Welcome, Mr. Olson. Why do you want the position of the board member in this district?
it's going to sound a little bit like sucking up, but it's not. But the reason I'm involved very much is because I've seen Dominic's track record of a young person who got involved early and has stayed involved. And he knows that. I've talked to him a couple times about how much that I try to model how I'm getting involved. And I want to be that for other people who are younger than me, who don't have the far sight all the way to Dominic, someone who is young, who's involved in their community, who works in their community, and can be somewhat of an inspiration to show people that in Commerce City there are young people who are working, and hopefully provide a pathway to the people who are passionate about it but don't know quite how to get involved.
Thank you. Senator Werner?
Mr. Rollison, how could you help the board become more effective?
I think that I'm a generation of step down, and the big issue with my generation is when older people try to talk to us, our brains shut off. We shut our ears and we pretend like we're not hearing because, oh, that's some dude lecturing me. But what I think I can do is I can involve the younger portion of our community, or not only students, but also fresh out of high school and college age students who live in our area, who live in our district, to be able to get their advice and to get them more involved and to get their positions and to help guide the decisions of the board along those opinions.
Mr. Thomas?
Mr. Rollison, question is, what are your goals and aspirations from a personal point of view?
I don't want to get heavily involved in upper tier politics at all. This is more of a way for local communities, and my main goal is to help lead younger people to find purpose, because that is the big issue with my generation. Is there's a lack of purpose and people are searching for purpose, and I think the best way to find purpose is in your communities and in your families. And if I can be a leader for 4 or 5, even one person, young searching for purpose, to help find their purpose and helping their community, then that'll succeed in my goal.
Mr. Rollinson, what would you intend your major contributions would be as a board member of this school district?
I personally believe community outreach is a strong strength of mine. It's what I do for a living when I work with multiple campaigns and multiple different political ideologies. They bring me on to help them as a campaign reach out to their communities. And I know of ways of motivating communities to be more involved in local politics, because it is so often forgotten that someone younger than me who could sit down in a room full of 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds and say, you have to get involved, you need to do this. It's less of a lecture, I think, and more of someone putting a hand on their shoulder and saying, hey, I'm your buddy, this is what's best for you in your communities.
Thank you. Mr. Rolla?
Describe the board's role as it is related to the superintendent's role in the district.
I believe that the board's role is to help provide oversight and to provide barriers for the superintendent, so that the superintendent stays along the lines of the board's setting, and as well as ensuring that and holding him accountable to following the rules and goals that he sets for himself and the board. And it's the board's job to make sure that he stays aligned in his role and ensures that goals are met and to bring down, like has happened, judgment if it is not.
How much should a board member seek out the views of teachers and other school employees?
I personally believe every step of the way there should be teacher involvement. Teachers here in Adams 14, I strongly believe, is that they're here because they care about kids. Because if they were chasing a paycheck, if they're chasing money, they'll go to Cherry Creek, or they'll go to the Castle Rock School Districts, or they'll go into Denver. These teachers care, and the best way to show them that we care as well is by involving them in every step of the way, getting their expert opinion as much as possible.
Thank you. Mr. Thomas?
What legacy would you like to leave as a result of your time on the board?
I'm hoping and praying that if I was to get on the board, that I'll be remembered as the person who kick-started community involvement. That's what I'm about. I'm about communities involving themselves, and if I can be the school board member who comes on and kick-starts community involvement, I want to fill this room up. I want us to have to pull extra chairs in because there's so many people of our community coming in. That's what I want to be known as, the person who's consistent in involving communities in their school district.
Mr. Rollison, is there anything you'd like to add that would help us understand you better?
I don't have many strong, firm opinions on very specific items that the school board is going to look over. And I'll be the first one to tell you that. And I'm probably the youngest and farthest most inexperienced person here. But I strongly believe that I have the skills and the ability to take in information, digest that information, and make a strong and educated opinion based on experts that I want to surround myself with. Because far too often, as you guys know, especially even in local politics, our smartest members are almost never in politics. Sometimes it's a little nasty. And I want to be a conduit for our community and those people in order to get involved by surrounding myself with those experts. And that's the main goal behind why I'm running.
Thank you. So you can go ahead and sit, and we're going to bring the other ones in. Yeah. We'll go into exec. Okay, so right now, we're going to bring everybody in, but we're going to go into exec session for, there's a need for executive session this afternoon under CRS 24-6-4002 4B, legal advice, board to conference with an attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific matters. Can I get a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to proceed into executive session pursuant to the statutory citation listed by the chair.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none. Monica, roll call.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.